Hey friends, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing some fragrance combos with you. But what's different about this video is lately I've been getting into mixing fragrances. I've been playing mixologist and it's been lots of fun. And this video is all about the combos that I've come up with, mixing my Arabian fragrances, otherwise known as Middle Eastern fragrances, with some of my Western fragrances. So if you're interested in hearing what these combos are, then please stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. I am really excited to get into this one with you today. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Ker-leen. On this channel, I make videos on lifestyle, luxury. I do review videos to include fragrance talk, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of my motherhood journey and my personal life in my monthly vlogs. So if any of those things pique your interest, then I think you should go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I would love to have you here. And also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So we're just gonna jump right into this video. I'm going to be sharing one of the first combos that I've come up with recently, and this combo consists of one of the freshest fragrances in my collection. This is a new Arabian fragrance by Swiss Arabian. This fragrance is hot off the presses, and I'm so happy to have this in my collection. I was recommended to get this fragrance by Kiki over at My Fragrance Trail here on YouTube. Thank you for yet another beautiful recommendation. I will link her channel in the description box, so check out her channel. She is a fragrance connoisseur. She has such a beautiful collection, and yeah, I've been getting lots of beautiful recommendations from her. So the fragrance I'm talking about is Shagaf Oud Tonka. So Shagaf Oud Tonka is a Tonka forward fragrance. If you don't like Tonka, you probably will not enjoy this. However, if you are a lover of the note Tonka, this is going to be Tonka heaven. For me, this fragrance mostly smells of sugared almonds and sugared Tonka. I feel like that's all I'm getting. This opens up with a beautiful almond note. It's a very typical almond note. If you're familiar with the note of almonds, that's what this fragrance opens up with, a beautiful almond. But this is not just any almond. It's a sugared almond. I feel like the almond is just sprinkled with sugar. It's so sweet, and yeah, it's not like a siloed almond. This is a sugared almond. I love, love, love the opening of this. I kind of wish the sugared almond would stick around a little bit longer into the wear, but the almond quickly takes a back seat, and then what comes forward is some of those mid notes. This has a beautiful cinnamon note, but it's not a cinnamon like the cinnamon you're probably thinking of. This cinnamon is not as spicy, although it adds a layer of depth and warm spicy to this fragrance. It's not overly spicy. It's more of a smooth cinnamon, and I really, really think it adds a layer of depth to this fragrance. You can tell it's there, but it is not overwhelming, and it does not stand on its own. They say that there is a white floral in here as well as a rose, but I don't really pick up on those floral notes, at least not right now. This is still a very fresh fragrance, so I wonder if, you know, after some time I'll pick up on that. But right after that cinnamon, what hits me is the Tonka. I feel like the Tonka you can smell right in the beginning, and then in the mid is where you really start to get lots and lots of Tonka, and by the time this dries down, you're left with a sweet vanillic Tonka. The Tonka sort of mixes with the vanilla, causing it to kind of come down a little bit, be dialed back a little bit, and you get like more of a vanillic Tonka on the deep dry down of this. So far I really enjoy this fragrance. Like I said, it's a very Tonka forward fragrance, and it puts me in the mind of a fragrance I picked up at Target. This one was a cheapie. It's by Soli Notes, and it's called Tonka. If you've ever smelled Soli Notes' Tonka, then you'll get an idea of what the Tonka in this fragrance smells like. So yeah, it's really Tonka forward, Tonka heavy, really creamy and very sweet and sugared. I feel like it's more of a sugared almond and Tonka fragrance. And so what I did was I ended up mixing this with my Casili by Parfum de Marly. I just feel like these two fragrances really pair well together and complement one another. And Casili adds a layer of fruitiness to this fragrance, but Casili is a creamy, slightly tropical, fruity, slightly floral fragrance that has a beautiful tonka at the base. And I felt like because of the tonka in here and the tonka in here, that they will go really well together, and they really do. I feel like if this is too linear for you, if this is too simplistic, if the tonka in here is too singular for you, then mixing it with something like this really amps it up and makes it more interesting. Likewise, if you wanted to add a little bit more warmth and sweetness and tonka to Casili, you could definitely layer this over the top of Casili, and that would give you your added layer of warmth and sweetness, a little bit more depth to the fragrance. So yes, I think these two go really, really well together, and I'm really happy that I decided to pair them. So this is the first combo: Swiss Arabian's Shagaf Oud Tonka and Parfum de Marly's Casili. So for my next combo, I decided to pair my newest Camera Kawa by Lattafa with Sora Dora's Jani. I talked about this combo on my TikTok, and I'm not sure if I posted that combo video here, but I did do a short form video talking about how amazing these two scents are together. Together, they're like a warm, spicy, sweet apple puff pastry, and it's a combo that not only is absolutely gorgeous, but will last all day long. Because as you all know, Lattafa's Camera Kawa is super duper duper long lasting. And then you have the beautiful Jani, which is this concoction of caramel drizzled apple puff pastry. They're both very, very sweet. This is more of a warm spicy, and this is more of a sweet gourmand puff pastry type of scent. This has some beautiful fantasy notes of baked apple and puff pastry, so it kind of smells like an apple pie or an apple turnover or something like that. Jani is very sweet. It has those fantasy notes that make it smell very edible, and then you have your warm and spicy fragrance with Kawa. Camera Kawa has a beautiful cinnamon note, so does Jani, but this cinnamon in here is not as potent as the cinnamon in here is. This one though has a beautiful candied middle, so it has, I think, candied fruits at the mid of Kawa, and also a beautiful praline note, which makes it super sticky. And so together these two are just a match. This is a perfect pairing. They are perfect for each other, and I would highly recommend. My next combo is Tribeca by Bond No. 9, and I paired that with my newest Afnan Edict Amber Time. These are two fragrances that are known to give off the BR540 vibes, and so I thought that these would pair so well together. But what I love about both of these fragrances is that they give off the BR540 vibes. However, they're very creamy, very sweet, they're very down to earth, not as airy or cold or ozonic as BR540, the original. Afnan Edict Amber Time is much more literal in terms of that BR540 DNA, and then Tribeca is a lot less literal, but it gives off just the essence. So Tribeca has a hazelnut and cacao at the top, and then Amber Time has a cinnamon, a tonka, and an amber note at the top. So they both have very creamy tops, except Tribeca is a little bit more nutty at the top. Both of these fragrances have cedar in them. It's just that Amber Time has cedar at the base, and then Tribeca has cedar at the mid. Tribeca has ambroxan, and then Amber Time has ambergris. So they both have like a vanilla or a caramel. They both have cedar. They both have jasmine, and then they have those weird notes like ambergris and ambroxan. And so I think that these two share enough of the same notes that they would pair very well together, and indeed they do. This was my fragrance combo today, and it was absolutely beautiful and very long lasting. This was on my clothes all day long, and it was also still projecting all day long. So this was just a beautiful combo. I absolutely loved it, and I would highly recommend that if you have these two, you go ahead and pair them together. If you have Tribeca and another Arabian scent that is meant to smell similar to BR540, I would recommend pairing them, because you're going to get a long wear. You're going to get a beautiful scent. It's going to be less airy, less cold, very warm, very sweet because of Tribeca. So I would highly recommend. Okay, so my next combo involves a fragrance that was very challenging for me when I first picked it up. It is by Lattafa. It's their Pride collection, and this is Ishq Al Shuyuk. This was so challenging for me at first. In the opening of this fragrance, I was getting tire, I was getting auto parts, auto body shop, auto zone, fuel, you name it, that's what I was getting. This fragrance reminded me of being in one of those places in the opening. But then I quickly realized that the dry down is absolutely gorgeous. And the longer this sat, the less of that like burnt rubber tire fuel scent I got. And now it's been over a month. And when I smell it, I still very faintly pick up that scent, but it does not last long. It dissipates super quickly, and I'm left with the dry down of this, which is absolutely intoxicating. And from my understanding, this is supposed to smell like Rosendo Mateau's number 5. And when I looked up reviews for that fragrance, people were also getting the same opening, like a tire, burnt rubber, fuel sort of scent. So if this is supposed to be exactly like that one, they definitely open up the same, and people do say that the dry down is absolutely intoxicating for both of those fragrances. So what I did to sort of mask the opening of this until I got to that dry down, that sweet spot, and really began to enjoy this, is I paired this with Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid. Don't ask me how I came up with this combo. I have no idea. It was literally by chance. I was sniffing my perfumes and I happened to sniff these two back to back, and I was like, wow, that would be amazing together. Let me try it. And I tried it and it was great. And then I wore it out the next day and it was amazing. So they're both very sweet. They're both very sweet, and that's pretty much where the likeness stops. So Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid has a peach and a vine note at the top. It has an orchid flower and then a vanilla at the base, and that's pretty much it. But even with that very simplistic list, to my nose, I feel like I smell caramel in here. And that's what I think they have in common. This one smells like it has caramel, and this one definitely has caramel listed as one of the notes. So this one opens up with caramel and saffron, then you get a leather and suede note at the mid. Then what I love is that this has a very warm, rich base. I think this fragrance has tonka bean, it has vanilla, amber, and a musk, and it's a very warm, sweet, sticky scent, but it's balanced with the leather and the suede, which I think is what my nose is picking up as that tire and auto body shop, because the leather and the suede are those type of notes. Like that's what you would smell as well if you were at an auto shop or, you know, an auto repair place. You would smell leather and tires. So I think that's why I've been picking that up from this fragrance. But together, these two are both sweet and syrupy, and I feel like adding Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid over the top of Ishq Al Shuyuk kind of adds fruitiness to it, makes it more feminine, and definitely gets me through that opening so that I can enjoy how intoxicating the dry down of this one is. So this is the next combo, and this is absolutely amazing. You have to try it and let me know what you think. My next combo is Al Rehab's French Coffee and Black Opium Le Parfum. So I'm sure you can probably already tell I chose these two because they both have a coffee note. And if you couldn't tell, that is why. So they both have a coffee note in them, except this is a more prominent coffee forward fragrance, while this one's coffee note just kind of balances the fragrance out. I don't think it takes center stage at all. And so that's why I thought pairing these two together would be perfect. So this is your caramel, vanilla, milk, sugar, and coffee fragrance. Very creamy coffee note. It opens up with a very strong, bold coffee note, almost like ground coffee beans, like freshly ground coffee beans. And then that quickly takes a back seat, and then you start getting the milk, the sugar, the caramel, that creamy and sweet essence. But this fragrance right here is a vanilla fragrance mainly, with a prominent white floral note, and then it also has a little bit of a coffee nuance. This one though, it does open up very sweet. It has a cinnamon and a pear at the top. This has loads of vanillas in here, and it also has white florals, and I believe it has like a solar note accord, although I don't really get solar from this. I don't get too much solar from this. To my nose, this is mainly a vanilla fragrance with a white floral nuance and a little bit of a coffee note in the background. That's what I get when I smell this. It opens up a little sweet fresh, and I do kind of get that cinnamon. I don't really pick up too much cinnamon, but I can tell it's there. And then this goes into the white florals, and then you immediately start getting, almost immediately, all the vanillas that are in here. This has a vanilla orchid, bourbon vanilla, Madagascar vanilla, I think. This has a vanilla absolute, and then it has patchouli, but I don't really get too much patchouli from this fragrance. So this is a beautiful fragrance, beautiful vanilla. It is not a linear scent. It does have a bit of complexity to it, which I love. And then paired with my French coffee, this was an absolutely gorgeous combo. I got all my coffee, vanilla, white floral life with these two together. So I would highly recommend these two if you have them. And we have come to the last fragrance combo in this video, and for my last one I have one more time Rehab's French coffee, and then I paired that with Theodoros Skalotinis's velvet chocolate. Yes, this was amazing. This was my mocha latte or my mocha cappuccino. So if you know anything about this scent, this velvet chocolate scent is a literal milky chocolate. Both of these scents are super gourmand. They're both very literal and foodie, and this was just an amazing combo. This literally smelled like a mocha cappuccino or a mocha latte. So velvet chocolate is literal milky chocolate. That's literally all I get from here. And then French coffee is literal cappuccino, sweet, creamy, with foam on top cappuccino. So together these were like the perfect pairing, because this is a very foodie combo. So if you don't like super literal gourmand scents, if you still like your scents to be perfumey, then this combo is not for you. But for those of you who are my gourmand girlies and you love a really edible smelling scent, this combo is for you. All right, beauties, thank you so much for watching this entire video. If you are still here, go ahead and hit that like button and let me know what some of your favorite combos have been as of late. Also, what is one combo from this video you think you might try? And if you don't have anything to say, but you still want to let me know you're here, then go ahead and drop an emoji down in the comment section so that I know you are here, because I'm so grateful for you. Before I go, I want to remind you to keep investing in yourself. This year is the year where we should be investing in ourselves the most and really taking care of yourself. You know, sometimes that can be difficult when we have lots of obligations, but the biggest investment you can ever make is in yourself, whether that be intellectually, physically, spiritually, whether it be regarding your nutrition. So just thinking about investing in yourself holistically from top to bottom this year. That's something that I will be doing, and I've been doing it. I did it the last year, and I've seen a lot of progress in terms of my state of mind, my health, and so many other areas, my finances, so many other areas. Before you can invest in anything else, you have to first invest in yourself. So I hope that helps you. I hope that encourages you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.